Afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our broadcast from INCRadio Central Europe. My name is Henry Inocencio, coming to you from Kaiserslautern, Germany. It is now 8:01 p.m. Central European Standard Time, or in the Philippines, it is 2 a.m. there. So, very early good morning to our viewers in the Philippines. And just because I'm from Hawaii, it is 8 o'clock in the morning in Hawaii, so 12 hours away if there's anyone there. Aloha kakahiyaka, which basically means good morning. But we're not in Hawaii. We're in Germany. So I'll let my German co-hosts uh, greet you all in the German way. So please, Alicia, greet them in German in their native tongue.
Guten Morgen, guten Tag und guten Abend an alle. And that is good morning, good day, and good evening to everyone. And I am glad to be with everyone here today. I am Alicia Bartolome coming to you live from Heidelberg, Germany, not too far away from Henry. I am so excited to be with you all today and have a little bit of Hawaii with us. That's fine. I think it's good to have some international roots here as well, right? So thank you all for joining us, and we're super excited to announce our topic today, which is the art of slowing down, embracing a slower pace this summer. Especially this summer, we should slow down a little bit, or we're going to start sweating because it's so hot. I don't know about you right now here in Heidelberg, it is 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but it is very hot here. I hope it is not too hot from where you are connecting to or watching from right now. So hopefully you are slowing down in this weather. But we are not alone. We have a wonderful panelist with us. Sister Cheryl, can you introduce yourself?
Guten Morgen, guten Abend und hello. Ähm, Vielen Dank nochmal, dass ihr mich eingeladen hier. It is very my pleasure here and honor to be here once again. And I am Cheryl Kahl from the northern part of Germany and from the island of Föhr.
Thank you so much for joining us, Cheryl. We're excited to have you with us. Also, we now have someone in northern part of Germany. Now we have two from southern. We need more from Germany. I think we have so many here in the comments section. I see a lot from Berlin. I see a lot from Hamburg, Meissen as well. We have a lot from northern Germany today. As always, they're always the top one in each time in our top 3 clusters, so it's to be expected. But thank you all for joining. Make sure to keep commenting, especially your tips on trying to slow down this summer. But let's get right into our icebreaker. Henry, what is our icebreaker for today?
So I'm looking at my notes for our icebreaker, and I may have erased too much of my notes because I know we're playing a game. It is called "What's in Your Bag." Alicia, can you explain how to play "What's in Your Bag"?
Um, that's no problem, Henry. Kuya can also show us what our icebreaker is or how we're going to play what's in your bag. So we have a scenario. Imagine you get one perfect slow day this summer. You have no responsibilities, no rushing, and no screens unless you want them. You're packing a small bag with just 3 things to help you enjoy that kind of day. So first we'll ask our guest today. Cheryl, what is in your bag?
Oh, just three small things that's difficult. But I bring if it's just a small bag, but I am always carrying big bag because I have everything, almost everything in there. But if it's just a small bag and just cell phone, three, I need three only, and Carter, what you call that? Itsy Carter and charger. That's it.
Okay, so for me, Uh, I'm going to take a detox from any electronics. So in my bag, I need water. I always need water. So let's just say a gallon. Do we say gallon here in Europe, in Germany? Is that only an American term? Okay, it's only an American term. So I think that is 3.75 liters to 1 gallon. So I will have 3.75 liters of water, um, ice water to be specific. Um, and then, I have one of those old CD players. It's something about holding a CD player versus a any smaller type of player. Maybe it's just the pride of my generation with technology and CDs that I like. So I will have that to listen to my music, and I'll have also a portable fan because it is hot. Right now, it's a heat wave. So as long as I have those three things, I think my bag is complete to me. What about you, Alicia? What would you have in your bag?
It is very hot, so stay hydrated. Water is a good idea, but I am going to prioritize a good book, especially if I'm trying to have a relaxing, screen-free day. Then I'm going to bring a book. Um, but I honestly cannot read a book with without listening to music. So I do not have a CD player like Henry, but I am bringing my phone and a pair of headphones. So those are my three items. I see a lot of comments with the same. Um, to bring water bottle, cell phone for pictures, and a map to get lost, and some coins in a pocket for ice cream from Irene Juliet Cavello, hashtag Berlin. Good idea. Ice cream is actually a great idea right now. It is. I cannot stop thinking about how hot it is. But make sure to always pack your water. That is the number one thing. Stay hydrated. We don't want anyone fainting in this weather. Um, but speaking of slowing down and having a relaxing day. Sometimes we forget to do that. We're all busy. I myself, I'm a student, and we're all, of course, in our careers or working as well. Sometimes hard to stop and pause and to think, oh, we should maybe slow down. So I'll give it to Henry first. What's your perspective on slowing down, especially in the summer?
So first of all, before I answer that, I would like our chat not to slow down. Make the chat keep moving fast so that I have a hard time reading. And also, it's just very fun to be interactive. So the more that the chat moves, then it'll make me slow down to read your comments. Um, so to answer the question, slowing down. Okay, so all of us together, all of us in chat, all at the same time. Let's just pause for a second. Take a deep breath because it's the end of the week. So pause, breath, breathe. Uh, let's breathe all at the same time. If you have a water, take a small gulp of water, all of us together. Um, and let's slow down. We're gonna have a slower conversation today with Cheryl and Alicia because I think we need to. It's hot. And we've accomplished a lot this week, and this is a very special week for us. So there will be a lot of preparation for us as we prepare for the 111th anniversary of the church. This gives us a good time to pause and reflect on on all the things that we are thankful for, but we can take this time to absorb and re-energize as we go into another week. So let's slow down together. And a question was put into the chat not too long ago about amidst all the responsibilities and things that we have to do in our day to day, what is the importance or why is slowing down so important? So let's go to Cheryl. You're here with us. Let's have a conversation about slowing down. Why is slowing down important to you, Cheryl?
Slowing down is doesn't mean that doing less, but it is very important. In fact, it is essential to reduce the pressure and to it is a benefits for our physical, mental, and emotional phase. It helps us focus. For me, it helps focus and in no rush. I can concentrate better and it can allows our nervous system to relax, rest, and have a balance in life.
Are you a coffee drinker, Cheryl? I'm a coffee drinker. So when I drink coffee, I move and talk too fast. So some days I try to avoid coffee just so I slow down. Do you personally enjoy coffee?
I like coffee, but not every day. Tea is better for me. I think tea is better.
I agree with you. Actually, tea is the better answer. So, if you're in chat, do you like coffee or do you like tea? Please put your answer in the chat. Just want to see who likes coffee more, who likes tea more. Uh, for us coffee drinkers, I think we need to start drinking some tea because it does help us to slow down a little more. Like Cheryl said, I mean, slowing down, it doesn't mean you do less. It just gives you the ability to respond better to what's happening around you. Because with there's so much things that are happening, things that are within our responsibility, but also things that are just things we have to react to and respond to. That not are not necessarily uh, part of our things that we have to face, but the unexpected things that we also run into. So when we slow down, we're absorbing and organizing all of these things to help us to make sense and to help us to respond to it. So Cheryl, let me ask you the importance of slowing down. Um, has there ever been a time where, whether it be from past or even present, just so many things are just, really coming at you from all sides, from your responsibilities, and then you get a text message that you have to respond because maybe there's a leak at home in your refrigerator or some kind of emergency, and so all these things happen, um, and all this pressure from your day to day. How do you respond? Is there something that you do that helps you to slow down so that you can better respond to these pressures?
Yes, a lot. For me personally, I like many multitasking. I am a rush person and multitasking because I want to do. I want to finish many activities in one time. But I realize it is not really good for our health. Makes us our heart. It not soften our hearts. I realized or I learned that slowing down makes our heart soften and makes us focus also and make take a deep breath and then continue your activities and it is very important for our health and spiritual emotional also. And I like
Alicia,
walking. That makes me relax and that makes me slow down, and I can breathe fresh air and enjoy the nature.
how would do you have any comments on that? How Cheryl's basically saying that she does need to take a deep breath and she needs that fresh air. Do you have any comments on the importance of getting that fresh air?
That is an example I want to follow. Getting a I know I've learned this in school as well. It is important to get that fresh breath of air. I don't know what a fresh breath of air. Because sometimes, especially in this hot weather, staying indoors all the time, it gets stuffy, right? And just like Cheryl said, it is important to like free your mind from the confinement of your home. Of course, sometimes our home is, of course, um, our time to relax as well. But sometimes going out, having a change of scenery, really helps reset your mind as well. Having a change, and just going out and seeing nature, especially here in Germany, it's you can go anywhere. It's really beautiful anywhere you walk if it's good weather, of course. But it is really important to get that. There's some science behind it. I don't remember it. I was biology was not my best subject in school. But just what the oxygen that you inhale on the from outside is just it's rejuvenating in a sense. And like Cheryl said, it really helps to take a break, even if it means going outside, which is sometimes can be seen as like, oh, I'm going outside, but I'm more comfortable, or taking a break inside is more relaxing for me, which is true. It's always different for everyone, but just going outside and having a change of scenery also makes a lot of sense. Just because sometimes it can get a little confined and a little stuffy at home, especially if you're working from home, right? A lot of us also work from home, so it is all the more even more important to go outside because you're stuck at home all the time. You're working, you're eating, you're resting at home, all in one place, and there should be variety to your routine by going out, by either going grocery shopping as simple as that, or meeting up with family or with friends as well, just to have a change of routine as well and not to stay in one place all day. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think just being able to change up your scenery if you're an indoors person because you have to be indoors, go outside. Are always working outside, go into a mall with air condition so that you cool down and you freshen up. And so just looking at our chat, I think it's a healthy balance of coffee and tea. And coffee, tea, or whatever it is that you drink, I think Irene Calvello is team matcha. Did I read that correctly? I think my wife, Rachel Inocencio, is also team matcha, but she does drink a lot of coffee. That is something that we enjoy on our breaks together. Who else did I see enjoys coffee? I saw quite a few. Team Coffee from Grayson J. Roderos. I see Frelin Beleza Fisher Coffee. I think I saw Mario Calvello also with coffee. Uh, I think coffee won today. So Team Coffee, we are we are the winners today. If there are more tea drinkers, please represent your team, so that you know the, those who drink tea. I know Alicia drinks a lot of tea. We need more on Team Tea. So anyway, back to our topic. Coffee or tea. It's good to have a coffee break or a tea break. To give us that space to reflect on our day in our week. We need that ability to uh, to reflect, to pause, to say how thankful we are for things. Cheryl, how do you make space and time uh, to rest and reflect? What are your ways that you give yourself the space and the time that you need to slow down?
In order for me to focus the day, I start my day with my devotional prayer and ask God for everything and for everything you do and everywhere you go. Just ask for help and guidance, and then you get makes me focus of the day and makes me become creative if you start your day with a prayer. And then in between activities and responsibilities around, it is very important to take a break. It's just, even if it's just um, a glass of water, it helps. Or just take a deep breath, uh, 5 to 10 seconds, maybe or more, and it is necessary. Especially if you have pressure at work and you don't need to do everything in a time in one time. And if it's you feel the work that there's deadlines and so on, and if you have time to answer get emails immediately, it doesn't mean that you have to react or answer right away. You can say no, or just a little bit later, but not procrastination. It's just a pause and a break.
So back in the States, a lot of places I've worked at, it is company policy to take a break 2 times a day, at least 10-minute breaks, and even a 30-minute break during lunch. Alicia, how important is a break to you? Uh, and tell me, culturally speaking, is it mandatory here in Germany to take breaks?
So on the mandatory part, yes, it is mandatory to take your breaks. Sad to say, it's I just from experience and with talking with family and with friends. It varies, of course, from time to time, and of course, um, some are more strict about it. Some are like, "Oh, you can. Why are you taking your break now?" But for me personally, the way I know it is, if you work a certain amount of hours, you get a certain amount of time for break. If it's like for me personally, if I work like 6 hours, I get a 15-minute break, or if I go above the 6 hours, then I get a 30-minute break, and so on and so forth. So I get like an hour break or so on and so forth. So it really varies from company to employer and employee discussion. So it is mandatory to take a break, of course. We are just humans, and we can go so far only, and it is important to really take your break. And I myself, I keep saying it, and I keep people keep telling me sometimes I'm stubborn myself. I do not listen to when people say I should take a break. I am sometimes always okay. I have to get this done, and I should listen to Cheryl and be like, okay, this doesn't have to get done all today, and I don't have to reply to everyone's messages. And that's also what I'm also implementing uh, to the to our dear multimedia. Shout out to you. That it is okay to say no, and it is okay to say you need a break, and it is important to. And it is also important to me personally that the ones I work with, the ones that I am leading or that are following any task that I give out for the multimedia, especially, it's important to me that they know that they don't have to give their 100% all the time, have to message to my every question as well, and that it is okay to leave me on red, which I do all the time as well. So it's really important to some of us may think it's rude or to that it comes across as we may be offended or something when we do not reply to someone or to do not finish a task right away. But I think we should get that mindset out of the way and think sometimes you have to think a little bit selfishly and think about your well-being, because that's what is also important, especially I feel like also for the youth now, is they're thinking of we're of course thinking of our future. We're trying to please our teachers, our employers, right? In our careers, we're building up our future. But we also have to think about ourselves that we're humans, that we also need a break, that we also need to hit pause, and that we also need to have some fun and go out with friends. You don't have to, it doesn't have to mean you're procrastinating, like Cheryl said. It means you're just leaving it for another day. It's still going to get done, but it's not going to get done on this day because you're feeling burnt out, which is also a whole different topic. But it is important, especially I also feel like with a lot of the youth I talk to and all of my friends that I talk to, that is a very big issue that we sometimes cannot say no, or we have a sometimes the problem with, oh, we feel bad and we're thinking about what the other person feels. But as long as you explain what you're feeling, that is reciprocated and that is understood, of course, we only have a limit, right? And especially us youth, we're growing up, we're still learning. I'm still learning to say no as well. I'm still learning to prioritize my tasks as well. And that is also important that that we tell that, but that's what I tell all my multimedia officers as well, is to let me know if it's if it's too much, if there's something else that they are handling at the moment, because I'd rather have it that way because I cannot read everyone's mind. Your employer cannot read everyone's mind. As long as you're open and honest and lay it all on the table, then I think you have no problems and you get to learn to prioritize yourself and to learn how to take a better break as well.
So let's emphasize that there's a difference to saying pause and versus saying stop. Sometimes you just want to pause and take a breather. Coworkers used to tell me, Henry, the work will be there in 10 minutes. The work will still be there in 20 minutes. They never tell me, oh, it's too late. The work, you didn't do the work. But sometimes you just have to pause, but don't forget that you still have to do the work. But yes, I reading also comments, also from Kenjin Libunao. It's important for me too as I begin my day to take time for gratefulness and start the day with a prayer. Hashtag Berlin. Hashtag MySit. Uh, Very important. Um, Also, when things get overwhelming, I take a deep breath and pray. That's from my wife, Rachel. Uh, Mario Cavello, karaoke helps me to relax. That is a good pause to say, okay, I'm stressed out right now. Karaoke, microphone, leave me alone. No, that's a good pause. That's a good way to take a break. That's one of my favorite answers that I've read so far today. That's a good way to pause the work, press play on the song, pick up the microphone. So, okay, let's continue with that as we're starting to draw to a close of our conversation. Um, so, some people are afraid, as Alicia was mentioning, that there's always pressure, not just of deadlines, but pressure of doing something. And some people actually feel guilty for pressing pause, as if like they are using their time to just not do anything. Um, how do you respond to that, Cheryl, when um let's say someone you know and you love, you tell them, take a break, take pause, like, no, I need to keep doing something. That's just how I am. I need to stay busy. I can't take a break and do nothing. What would you tell someone who feels the pressure that they always need to do something, but you know they need to take a break?
And take one day at a time. Pressure is always there. It's just how the way you respond, and you have to prioritize things. What really matters most. So you have to see which is important and what's the to ask. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is very important to take a break and take a pause in everything you do, in every activities you do, to make you focus on everything also, and makes you relax. And if you slow down, you will notice your inner voice and you will function well.
Okay, so let's say your friend who you just told that advice to help you function well, take a break. Let's say, okay, what should I do, Cheryl? Let's go find a peaceful activity for us to do. What peaceful activity would you do with your friend to help them recharge?
Walking is my favorite thing to do in between pressure, and to see the nature in the park, just going to the park or just the beach. If you are in the city, just window shopping helps also. Kind of. Yeah, it's also walking, walking around the window, and um, yeah, and going to the gym is also keeps me relaxed, and that's the way I pause of every activities I have done.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little scenario with Alicia. I'm going to say, Alicia, take a break, go somewhere, go do something. What are you gonna do, Alicia?
Well, we've had this conversation before, and my answer usually is no, I have to get it done, or no, I have to finish this, which I'm now learning is something I should not be saying too often. But my response, of course, automatic response is that I'm busy, I have to work, oh, I have to get this done, I have to submit this. Um, but I'm gonna take my own advice and say, okay, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go meet up with friends. I'm going to go window shopping, like Cheryl said. It is relaxing, just looking, right? But it is, yeah, it is sometimes hard to prioritize yourself as well, just because you want to meet that certain expectation, right? I think the with those pressures comes the expectation that not only you have of yourself, but also what you think others have of you. So trying to meet that expectation by multitasking and getting everything done on each certain day. I also had a conversation with a friend about this, is that you can put so many things on your to-do list and you will feel even more guilty for not getting everything done, and then it's all just gonna pile up on a different day. So it's okay to not get everything done on your to-do list, but make a realistic to-do list. Just for me, I like doing to-do lists and make a realistic one. Really check, okay, I'm working from this time to this time. Does it make sense to have 10 other tasks done after I get off from work? That doesn't make sense, right? You have to rest as well. Your brain can only go so far and think so far with getting things done. And what I always tell myself is, um, I'd rather do this task, whatever it is, 100% and not at 50% of my capacity. So if I'm not feeling 100%, then I will move it. I do not do it all the time. I push myself. It's not good. I do not take me as example, Paul. But when you are not feeling 100%, not even 90%, 75%, then I think your body is telling you something that you should take a break maybe, especially with this weather. Make sure you take more breaks while this weather is different than winter and spring and fall altogether. So it is important to take breaks, and it is important to also prioritize yourself. Self-care is something that shouldn't be considered a luxury. It's supposed to be something normal. It's supposed to be something that we should input daily as well into our routine. And like in our comments, there's so many comments. I can't read everything out, but from Sister Nanette Catalan, taking things slowly isn't about falling behind. It's about aligning with what truly matters, appreciating the small things in life, well, that we sometimes take for granted, which is so true. It's not. That's one thing. Also, is like we're trying to get to the finish line. We're comparing ourselves to other people's progress, but we're all going down a different path. But we should think about what our own path, if that makes sense, and doesn't necessarily mean we're falling behind, which is very easy said. But yeah, Henry, we have a lot of comments. I cannot keep up. There's too many comments.
I will read some of the comments as I scroll through. As I scroll up, Lu, I can't read that so far from my eyes. Out from Luvirmin Hack, you're allowed to take a breath. You don't have to carry everything or be everything to everyone. Rest is not a weakness; it's necessary. Be good to yourself. Now, I will add to that to say that sometimes we try to meet the expectations of others, but we forget the requirements of ourselves. And I'll also add to what Alicia said is if you want the best product, you have to have the best you. So, the best requires rest. So let's take a chance to rest any chance that we get. If there's any newborn mothers out there, we all know this as an experienced parent myself. When the newborn is sleeping, you have to sleep. There's no other way for you to get rest because once that newborn wakes up, you have to respond. So any chance you get to take a break, especially in that situation, take that break. You need that because your new baby needs that. I think I saw Elisa there, so she knows what I'm talking about. One of my friends who just has a newborn baby. Um, and so, as we come to a close to our topic, Cheryl, you talked about many examples of slowing down, many examples of getting the space that you need. How has that slower pace, that exhale, that walk, that space in nature, in fresh air, how has that helped your mental, emotional, or spiritual well being?
It processes me well, clearly, and I can hear my inner voice, and it can soften your heart, in my heart also. And slowing down is very important. And like what I have said, the activities, what I done, but while taking a break. Of course, we have to do the things done, but in between of that, it is necessary to take a break or just a pause. It is very important to our mental and physical health, and most of all, the spiritual health, spiritual
Okay.
well-being.
Definitely. And as we come to a close in our topic, let's talk about that spiritual health aspect because when we take exhale, a moment to breathe, uh let's use this as a reminder to ourselves that it's okay to pray in that time of exhaling. Whether it be before you start the day because you know what's going to happen in the day. Whether it be in the middle of the day because you are starting to feel the pressure, and most especially at the end of the day because you got through the day. It was a hard day. You can pray in each of those moments, and that's your time to block out the outside noise and just dedicate your mind and your thankfulness in prayer that you got through a day and that you're going to face that day again tomorrow. And it'll be a fast-paced day. It'll be a very busy day. Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. We all have that Monday feeling when we go through another week. It'll be hard. So let's use this time that we have now to in this INC Radio Central Europe broadcast. And thank you for joining us today because this is a nice break for all of us together to slow down, to reflect on the things that we need to do for tomorrow, but also to enjoy each other's company. So let's close the conversation with that to say that in every time you slow down, uh, use that time to say a prayer of thankfulness to our Almighty God because we are still going through what we are going through, and we've gone through what we've gone through because of his help and his guidance, and we're going to continue to find more success in the days to come. So I hope you've all helped me. You've all not helped me, but we've helped each other to slow down for today. And let's also slow down in our broadcasts as we take a quick station break. Please stay tuned with us as our broadcast continues.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello! Ako ang inyong Ate Sam at samahan niyo kami ngayong Lunes sa Like and Share. Gawa sa patatas pero gourmet dish? Gawin natin ang potato pizza na pasok sa merienda mo. Ayusin ang kalat na makikislap mong alahas gamit ang DIY jewelry holder na swak sa budget. Lutong bahay, lasang espesyal, stir-fry tofu, malinamnam, hearty at healthy. At sa episode na ito, ating mapanood ang mga vlogs mula po sa distrito ng Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija. Kaya samahan nyo kami ngayong Lunes sa Like and Share, July 21, 2025 at 2 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Dito lamang yan, Science Radio.
Ayan. Ayaw mundar ah. Sa lahat naman ng araw oh. Papasok ka pa sa trabaho. Papasok pa kayo sa school. Meron ba akong interview? Ano ba yan?
May mga araw talagang parang akala natin lahat mali o di umaayon sa atin. Pero ang tamang paghahanda, hindi lang tungkol sa pagpaplano, kundi sa pagkakaroon ng malawak na pag-iisip, lakas at pananampalataya.
Grabe po itong araw na to. Nasiraan po tayo ng kotse. Nalate po kayo sa interview. Tapos kami naman, naglakad papunta sa school. Pero, ang saya pa rin, di ba?
Tama ka dyan, kuya.
Dahil yan, so hindi tayo sumusuko. Nag-a-adjust tayo. Tayo, sama-sama, di ba?
Mga anak, hindi tayo naghahanda para maging perpekto, kundi para makapagpatuloy kahit na hindi perpekto ang lahat. O manalangin na tayo, mahal.
Isang paalala, hatid sa inyo ng INCRadio Serbisyo.
Tired of feeling your worst? Ready to take control of your health? Then tune in to Health Matters, the show that covers it all. Mondays, get glowing with Dr. Miriam Isla and the latest in skincare. Tuesdays, Dr. J.M. Cruz tackles your adult health questions. Wednesdays, it's family time with Dr. Awi Perez. Thursdays, Sister May Tinio and Sister Galore Pangan guide you to emotional well-being. And Fridays, discover the power of natural medicine with Dr. Erwin Torres and Sister Cheche Brinosa. Health Matters, Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Subscribe now and start living your healthiest life.
Welcome back to Central Europe Satellite Studio. Welcome back, everyone. If you have missed our topic conversation, don't worry, you can rewind the video po. But for those who haven't yet heard, our topic is about slowing down, especially in this summer. We had a very eye-opening conversation. I hope you were able to enjoy it as much as we did. But I think it's time for our most favorite segment, German is Fun, with Miss Malu. So make sure to relax and take this break to learn more German with Miss Malu. Stay tuned.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß. Hallo zusammen. Hello everyone. Welcome to German is Fun. Willkommen zu Deutsch macht Spaß. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid. Ich bin Schwester Malu Francisco. I'm Sister Malu Francisco, bringing you another fun episode of Learning Basic German. Join me now and let's have fun together.
For today, we'll learn basic words and phrases related to traveling. Heute geht's Reisen. Reisen. Our first word for today, to travel, Reisen. Reisen. That's the German word for to travel. And you spell it this way, R-E-I-S-E-N. The stress is on the first syllable, Reisen. And as you know, a verb can be converted into a noun just like in English. To travel, to convert it into a noun would be traveling. Das Reisen. Das Reisen. Travel or journey, by the way, is eine Reise and plural, die Reisen. Die Reisen.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Now, if you want to ask someone in German, do you like to travel? Remember, in German, you has the formal and the informal forms. The formal form for you, singular and plural, is Sie, written with a capital S, I-E. That is the formal form of you for singular and plural. Now, the informal form of you for singular is du, and for the plural form, it's ihr, spelled I-H-R. Now, let's try to use all these forms in our question. Do you like to travel in German? Reisen Sie gern? Reisen Sie gern? Informal you singular. Reist du gern? Reist du gern? Informal plural. You'd ask, reist ihr gern? Reist ihr gern? I like traveling, so I would say, ja, ich reise gern. Ja, ich reise gern. If you don't enjoy traveling, you'd say, ich reise nicht gern. Ich reise nicht gern. If you want to say, we like to travel, wir reisen gern. Wir reisen gern. And if you don't like traveling, wir reisen nicht gern. Wir reisen nicht gern.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
At this point, I'd like to thank Brother Christian Reynoso from Central Europe for taking pictures for us for today's episode. Thank you po. Marami pong salamat, Ka Christian.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß. This has been today's episode of German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß. I hope you had a lot of fun joining us today, as I had much fun bringing another episode of Deutsch macht Spaß. Till next time, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ich bin Schwester Malu Francisco saying vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Tschüss! German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Another episode of German is fun, and the answer to the question is yeah, ich reise gern. Did I say that correctly? I hope I said that correctly. I do like to travel. I just don't like driving for so long. I get really tired. But traveling is fun. Seeing new places is great. As long as you can read the signs, you know, as an American, I'll be fine. Anyways, thank you to Miss Malu for always giving us new German lessons every week. And now let us continue in our broadcast to CMV. Please continue to stay in our broadcast.
Rettet uns vor Trauer und Kummer. Die Welt ist voller üblen Gefahren, dennoch verlieren wir nie unseren Glauben.
Wir sollten für den Glauben kämpfen, das kann uns niemand erlauben. Zeigt eure Stärke, Willenskraft, tragt die Rüstung für den Kampf. Lass den Glauben zum Vater nie los, niemals los, denn er ist unser Schlüssel zum Sieg. Lass den Glauben zum Vater nie los, niemals los, denn er ist unser Schlüssel zum Sieg.
Let us all watch and discover how talented the Sofla Kadiwa and Binhi contestants are.
Join us every Sunday at 5 p.m. on INC TV and 8 p.m. on INC Production Company's Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And that was our CMV with focuses on Central Europe. And so, shout out to brothers Josh, sister Nanette, and sister CN for representing Central Europe district with that CMV. It's nice to hear the different languages for our music videos. And so now we've come to the point of our broadcast where when you put your hashtag and your cluster, you contribute to the victory of the week, the most important victory of the week in our INC Radio Central Europe broadcast. So let us cue in the top 3 most active clusters.
Third place, Hamburg Cluster. Second place, Heidelberg Cluster. First place, Berlin Cluster.
And there is another example of the diversity of our top 3 clusters. It always changes every week now. So I'm always glad to see that the cluster competition, friendly competition, it always changes. So, I mean, the first place never changes, but that's a good thing, not a bad thing at all. Berlin is always a dependable number 1, but 2 and 3, we'll see who is in second and third place next week. Again, shout out to my cluster of Heidelberg. I'm very, if you can say favoritist, because that's just where I'm at. Anyways, so we've come to the point of our broadcast where I think we have time to do some shout outs. So this is where we greet our loved ones who joined us in our broadcast or those who will watch future, what do you call it, recordings of this broadcast. So we can just greet our loved ones from wherever they are. So let's start with Cheryl. Is there anyone who would you like to greet or say a shout out to?
Yes, plus shout out to my family in GWS LEC, my family also in Hamburg, in the Philippines, and in Canada. They will watch this episode. And shout out to all listeners and viewers today. Thank you.
And there's the shout out to third place Hamburg cluster. So because you represent your representative today, I think you'll be third place next week. I think Heidelberg will still be second place next week, but that's just my bias. So, anyways, Alicia, any shout outs from you?
Well, first, I think you're too biased, but maybe that's me too, because we're from Heidelberg. But congratulations and shout out to all the top 3 clusters for this week. Make sure to keep commenting. We still have time, and you can still make it onto the top 3 clusters for next week. Shout out to the local of Heidelberg and to the district multimedia. I'll give out more shout outs at the end. But how about you, Henry?
So as always, I always shout out first my wife, Rachel Inocencio, who is always active in chat, and I think I see a crown on her name for her activeness in chat. Shout out to my family. He's always across the world watching and tuning into INC Radio. Shout out to Brother Cons. I am your number 1 fan. So shout out to um, all of my fellow Heidelberg cluster brethren who are always supportive, always here, always participating. And always thank you to our panel, Sister Cheryl, for joining us today in our conversation. You contributed very well, very great for us to educate everyone the importance of slowing down. So thank you to everyone for joining our broadcast today. Thank you to all viewers and listeners for watching. Thank you to our district CFO advisor, Brother Scott Augustine. Thank you to our assistant district minister, Brother Jake Edick. And thank you to our district minister, Brother Joel B. Catalan. Alicia?
Thank you also to our INC Media Productions Chief, Brother Montreal Boy. And thank you to our INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Taray. Thank you also to our CFO coordinator, Brother Ralph Francis Diaz-Guerra. And of course, thank you to our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranio Manala. And most importantly, thank you to the church administration and our most beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. This has been INC Radio Central Europe Satellite Studio. Thank you all for watching and joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye!